Your starting position for this dance is with your left hand on your left hip. In this dance, we're going to use the cheerleader hand on hip. That's the thumb in the back, the fingers in the front. And that's your default for the first half of the dance. Instead of what we were doing in other dances, it's going to be here. The body is less important in this dance. It's more about the FanVeil. So you've got the veil tucked up behind. I wrap it around my middle finger and hold it securely. And what will happen is when the music starts, there'll be 4 beats. You'll hear boom, 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 boom. You let those go, and then we do hip bumps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we do 4 figure eights. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then we'll turn around and let the veil go. So it's kind of like a magic trick. And what I'd like to show you is that if you wait until you get almost all the way around to the back and let it go, it looks more like a magic trick. So it looks like, oh, you just have a fan and then you turn around and, oh, where did that come from? And so that's your opening. Okay, we are on to step number 2. This is the chorus because we do it 4 times during the course of the dance. So let me show you what it is. Hand is on the hip, cheerleader hip. The veil goes around the world and across the ocean. I'll do it again, around the world and across the ocean. The body is doing a hip bump. So around the world and across the ocean. Let's do it again. Around the world and across the ocean. We'll do that twice, and then we'll go around in a circle with actually the FanVeil in front of our face, so it's vertical. So we go around the world, across the ocean, repeat, around the world, across the ocean, to the left so that we can get in front of our face, and then we do a releve. We go up on our toe, the other foot comes up, and our hand and our FanVeil go up. Looks like this. So we go across, turn all the way around with it, chest level, and then releve. I'll go through the sequence. Once, twice, little hop to the left at your chest level. That's once, twice, and that's your step number 2. So at the end of step number 2, which is the chorus, we did a little leap to the left, and we went all the way around, and then we did a releve, which was up on our left toe, up into the air. As we come back down, for step number 3, we're looking at our FanVeil, we're bouncing our hip, and we're wiggling the FanVeil to get a little motion in it. We're looking at the FanVeil. So step number 3, we're going to start here, and then we're going to go over the head and into the tummy. So I'm doing a basic with my feet, I'm going over my head and into the tummy. And this actually is only twice. So let me show you. We're here, we go 1, 2, and on this one, we come up in front of your face, whip it down, and close the FanVeil. You close it by letting go with the little fingers, keeping the thumb and forefinger upside down, this way. So the weight of gravity pulls it closed. The weight of gravity pulls it closed on my side, and now I'm ready for step number 4. So this was step number 3. Okay, we just finished step number 3 by closing the veil on the right-hand side, letting go with the little fingers, holding it with the thumb and forefinger. Now we're going to do 4 overhead figure eights while we're bouncing our hip. So it's a wrist action, I'll show you a few times. So wrist action, making a figure 8 up in the air. Make it tight because you don't have time to do a big one. It's clockwise and then counterclockwise. So round, 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. So we whipped it down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to change. We're going to do a basic with our feet while we whip it around our head and squiggle down. Around the head and squiggle down. And we only do that twice. So we just did 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Then throw it over our shoulder, and that's the end of step number 4. Okay, in step number 4, we were doing squiggles. We did 2 squiggles down. Now we're going, so step number 5 is a transition. We'll put the veil over our shoulder and do hip lifts around in a circle, your own little circle. And what I usually advise, watch the audience as long as you can, then whip your head around. Don't let them creep up on you. And when you bring it down, you open it up. So now we're back to the beginning position. And that's transition step number 5. We ended up our step number 5 with the veil over our shoulder. We whip it down, and when we come down, you're going to hold it with your thumb and forefinger and allow the fan veil to open up. So it was closed, and now it's open, and then you put your fingers back to hold it open. Because we're going to go into step number 6, which is flag waving. And we're swaying our body back and forth as we do, the fan is vertical, we're doing horizontal figure 8s over our head, and there's 4 of them, starting over here, count over here, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, and 4.5, and that's step number 6. We just finished step 6, where we were doing the flag wave. We did 4 figure 8s with the fan veil over our head. Now we're going to turn a little bit to the diagonal. As we finish that last 4th, turn to the diagonal. We're going to go over and down a figure 8 vertically. And as we come down, we're going to roll down. So bring the chest back first, and then the hips, just a regular roll down. So you do that twice. 1, 2, then we'll do it this way. We'll throw our leg out and come in. So we're doing a figure 8 this way and 2 Egyptian hip circles. So we do 2 roll downs, 1, 2, leg out, over the head, in the tummy, over the head, in the tummy, and that is number 7. So we just finished bringing the fan veil up in front of our face. We do 3 chassés, right, left, right. We do the olé, and that brings the fan down to our side. So we can do hip circles, and we do 4 hip circles without wiggling the fan veil because it's all about the hips. Let's go into the next one, which is over the head figure 8s. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wiggle down, and I call this the curtsy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wiggle down into a curtsy. That's good. So we just finished the curtsy step, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wiggle down into curtsy. You're going to grab the fan veil with both hands and throw it up over your head so the veil ends up behind you. If there's a fan in the room, that might affect it, so it takes more effort. Then you do 6 mayas, starting with the right hip. And we look down at the hip. That's 2, that's 3, 4, 5, 6. Now we need to get rid of the fan veil from over our head. Do a pivot turn to the front. When you turn to the back, throw it down. When you turn back around, give it a nice sweep. And you're back at your beginning position to do the beginning chorus.